This is Griff, an indie rock musician from North Wales, and this is John, his 3-foot-high avatar, dressed for the 18th century and made of felt. Together they may just have helped a nation rediscover one of its most adventurous sides. American Interior sees Gruff Rhys on the trail of John Evans, a distant relative who left Wales for America in 1792, inspired by a legend.
In the year of our Lord 1170, a Welsh prince, Madoc ap Owain Gwynedd, planted his Welsh foot in this new world.
The question: did that moment in folklore yield a tribe of Welsh-speaking American Indians? John Evans, just 22, went out to investigate, and Gruff Rhys, 200 years later, would tour America with his story.
Hi Griff, how you doing?
Good.
You alright?
Yeah.
I'm Andy.
We meet Gruff Rhys back in North Wales, in his hometown of Bethesda. Beside his very own John Evans caricature, he talks of trying to invent a tour with a sense of purpose.
I called it an investigative concert tour. So at night I was playing concerts, and during the day I was like Columbo or something, just trying to investigate what happened to John Evans.
Did you like playing the detective?
Oh, it's quite stressful because I don't have any skills for it, you know. And very little is known about John Evans.
Much more now is known thanks to him, with a film, book, app and album celebrating this obscure Welsh-American odyssey.
Sailing into Baltimore, everything's okay. New buttons on the jacket, shine like the brand new diamonds, glistening in the sunlight, blistering my eyes. When you said that you loved me, I knew it wasn't true. I've 100 nights. It's reached the point where I'm now on tour and following the route of John Evans.
When I found out that Griff was coming to Pittsburgh, I was like, to what do I owe this great pleasure? Well, thank you, John Evans.
But isn't it extraordinary to think that, you know, a young lad from humble origins here, 200 years ago, headed off thousands of miles to try and go and find a tribe of Welsh-speaking American Indians. I mean, it's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, to me it makes complete sense that an explorer of the West would have been completely formed by this view.
But there was another driving force involved, a local poet who was a
kind of Welsh revolutionary, an extremely influential guy.
Who had visions of a new Welsh state founded on the Great Plains.
And he persuaded the young John Evans, why don't you borrow some money, go out to America and find the tribe who are descended from Madoc. I think he was radicalised to the point where he couldn't discuss openly with his family what he was going to do. He didn't correspond with them until he was actually in America.
It has some parallels with what's going on today in Syria, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
The Promised Land, the territory of the Mandan people, and where Evans came, Rhys followed. And here a meeting with the last fluent Mandan speaker prompts reflection on the state of his own language.
It was very profound, and I often take my first language, Welsh, for granted. It's made me realise how precious the language is, and what an opportunity we have to save what is also a language at crisis points. You know?
The legend had it that the Mandans were the lost Welsh-speaking tribe. So can you tell us the answer, Griff, to the big question? Are there any Welsh-speaking Native American Indians?
No. Well, John Evans not having Google, you know, at the time he had to find out the hard way to walk for 4 years. Messages, not a single note from you. I have 7...
Evans died in New Orleans aged 29, but the maps of his journey would form a legacy. It is an epic, tragic tale of a man deluded by myth, and yet, in this retelling, it captures the imagination in life-affirming style.